Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
What's good? Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another edition of Live Wire Sports Media. So, Natasha Cloud, for somebody who I thought was kind of okay when it came down to certain things, but then again, nah. Because the fact of the matter is, these people continue to show their true colors. It seems like Miss Sympathy wants to go on her world tour, cry and whine or complain about something. I don't even know why all of a sudden now she's getting all of this. But again, we would never know who these people were playing in the W if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark. Again, Caitlin Clark put eyes on all of these players. Now they get to come on different podcasts, get to talk about the game of basketball, even if it's negative or positive. Since Unrivaled has started, it seems like all of these women starting to have a voice, want to say things, want to make certain accusations and stuff like that. And it's funny because at the end of the day, it makes total nonsense. Now, Natasha Cloud has been going on all of these podcasts. She talked at the Unrivaled meeting about her being traded. She wasn't happy about that. Then she went on the OG's podcast. She talked about the trade and how they stabbed at her back. She wasn't happy about that. Now she turns up on the pivot with no other than the number one race baiter, Ryan Clark. I used to have a lot of respect for Ryan Clark, even though he played for the Commanders at one time, the Redskins at one time. But now, since he got that job with ESPN, it seems like everything he wants to do, he wants to leverage it towards race. He even was talking about how because Shedeur Sanders is getting a lot of hate, me honestly, and like I don't have nothing against Deion because I think Deion's one of the best players to ever play the game. I like his son. I like both of his sons. But the fact of the matter is, just like we touched on LeBron James and his son, that he's not a good basketball player. Shedeur Sanders is not a good quarterback. He could throw the ball, but at the same time, he holds the ball too long. He's slow, and he doesn't run fast. And he needs a lot of he's more of a Jameis Winston type of quarterback. But nevertheless, that's neither here or there. I could touch on that like around the draft time. But nevertheless, back to Natasha Cloud. It seems like she goes on here and she talks anything. She starts all of this crazy habla. So what I'm going to do, I was going to play from the videos, some clips from her press conference, talk about her trade and all that. But I'm going to fast forward to the pivot episode, and then I'm going to go backwards like that. So then we could get a clear cut understanding. So first, I'm going to show you the clip from the pivot with Ryan Clark doing and what she was talking about the game of basketball, about how it's supposed to be physical, you know what I'm saying? And there's no truth of hate against vets against rookies or rookies against vets. Take a listen.
It almost felt like marketers were trying to figure out, like, yeah, we have all of these amazing players and these amazing personalities, but can we push the demographic? And then when Caitlin Clark got to the league, the Angel Reeses got to the league, and they might have been fouled hard. The same thing I saw happen with Shamika Holsclaw, though.
You see my tooth knocked out?
Yeah,
Rookie season, Jewel Lloyd. My tooth knocked out. I still didn't get it fixed.
So how do you?
It's cool.
T-Cloud, how do you feel about the fact that all of a sudden it was, oh, it's too physical. Oh, they're going at him because they're stars. What was your reaction to some of the new viewers and fans to the game thinking that the WNBA was too rough?
It was a crazy season because we have never had so much momentum behind our league, so much support, demand, viewership, all that, accessibility. But the craziness that came with the new fandom was rooted in something other than fandom, right? And I think that's very evident to see across the board. In a lot of ways, it has not been about basketball. Like, we can talk about, you know, people getting fouled. I just showed you my tooth getting knocked out. Like, that's been a part of the game. The game has always been physical. I can tell you the amount of times I've left with bloody lips and eyes. I have bruises all over my body, even from the game last night. You can see bruises on my elbow from last night. Like,
Right.
it's just a part of the game. So there was no targeting. There was no nothing.
Right.
That narrative that got spun into, oh, the vets hate the rookies hate the vets are going after certain players. It's all bullshit. Like, if I'm just gonna be frank,
Real
like,
talk.
it's all bullshit. What it is racism, right? It gets blown up into, oh, they're going after Caitlin Clark, but no, we're just playing one of the best players that's in this league the way that any other best player, franchise player is gonna get played. Watch how Stewie gets played. Watch how Asia gets played. Watch how Enrique gets played. Watch how Khalid gets played. Go down the list of franchise players for every team. They be getting fucked up every game. It don't matter what position you are, what color you are, what school you came out of. This is how we feed our families. Our job is to go and win. And if we don't win, what happens? We get fired. We lose our jobs. So if you're telling me that the difference between me keeping my job is you in that basket, you're going to have to go all the way through me.
Hold up. Limitless. Niggas to me cap pinning it.
All right, so these two clowns in the pod, and I'll talk about Natasha Cloud and then I'll talk about Ryan Clark. Two clowns in the pod. First of all, Ryan Clark, he thinks it's funny and he thinks that, okay, it's not physical. All right, let me ask you this, Ryan Clark. When you play football, and you know we notice how the rule is changing in football consistently to, you know, where it doesn't have like concussions and stuff like that. A lot of people complain the game is too soft. It should have some kind of physicality. And basketball, back in the early 80s and 90s, when they used to be rough, and then David Stern kind of like it changed the game a little bit as it more to be less physical. As we see today, the game is not as physical as it is because it's more offense based. You know, it's less defense. Same thing with the NFL. You know what I'm saying? They try to make the defense less physical and more offensive potent. The same thing in the WNBA. Nobody wants to watch. Nobody wants to watch their favorite player getting taken out or getting injured or getting beat up every game. That's not how the game of basketball is supposed to be played. Yeah, there's supposed to be some physical aspect of it, but it's not where you're getting clothesline, you get knocked down, you getting vicious elbow in the face or getting blindsided. It is, and trying to say that, and the first thing she said, oh, it's racism. No, it's not. Because fans, regardless of we new or old fans, we know what sports physicality should look like, and we know what it's supposedly not look like. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, try to spin it. Oh, so you show your tooth, and just say, well, my rookie year, my tooth got knocked out. Jewel Lloyd, I didn't complain about it. Okay, but still, at some point in time, you proud of that, but you don't want to see the game progress more so better than it is because of the fact that matter, quote unquote, because you want the game to stay physical and want players to get injured and beat up, or some players might get put out for the season, and then guess what? You're not getting new viewerships. But the thing about it is, you're not one of the best players in the league. And nobody even plays Stewie that way. Stewie tried to play dirty because Stewie put a blindside screen on Caitlin Clark coming around in her rookie season. We all remember that. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Alyssa Thomas. She did the same thing. And then she wouldn't act like, what did she do? You see Dejanay Carey do it all the time when she tried to chase down people and was a SWAT. She just did it to Shakira Austin, and they was getting into it, and she got thrown out of the game. So what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to feed your families, but it doesn't mean you have to be barbaric to do it. If you as skilled as you are, saying that you played at this level or that level or whatever level it is, you should be able to come into the game, use your ability to get buckets, to score, to have assists. play sound defense without trying to knock somebody's head off. You know what I'm saying? So the fact of the matter is, well, what she's talking about is pretty asinine to me, because the fact of the matter is that if somebody clothesline her like in the WWE, she would probably be getting up and ready to fight. We see how Marina Membre fouls up people all the time, hard fouls all the time. Nobody wants to have you getting slapped up on all the time. Heck, LeBron don't even like getting hit, and the game is not even that physical. So what makes you think that everybody wants to come into the league? Oh, so y'all gonna wait for Paige Becker to come into the league and knock her all over the place? And Paige ain't nothing but a $105. You want to wait till Hannah Delgo come and knock her into the stands? You want to wait till Juju come in the league and knock her in the stands? What, you gonna knock a 6'7" Laura Best down? Come on, man. That's dumb thinking on her part. And she think that, oh, the thing about this, she's 33 years old, acting like she like a thug. Nobody want to see prison break basketball. People wants to see recreation type skill basketball. You know what I'm saying? The first thing they say, oh, overseas is physical over there. You look at them overseas play, this physical, but they play more loosely than American basketball. So, and then just to hear this other clown, Ryan Clark, he giggling and thinking it's cute and stuff like that. And I'm sure Channing and Fred Taylor, they probably sit there sometime and be like, some of these people that we bring on this show. But see, the thing about it is, Ryan Clark would never, ever bring Caitlin Clark on that show. He would never, ever bring Caitlin Clark on that show. Because you know why? He's a race baiter. And he would try to race bait her into questions all the time. That's what he does. It's like everything that they say or do has always got to be turned into a race, when it could just be logical thinking and say, hey, this may not be the thing. But then again, like I said, Natasha Cloud, she's been on this little rant lately, her little sympathy tour, and she wanted everybody to feel sorry for her. And the fact of the matter is that she's a mixed child. She's a mixed child. And she shouldn't even be acting the way she is. Who cares that you're gay? We just care that you play a good game of basketball. But just to sit back and say, oh, well, we need more money, we need this, we need to be paid this, we need to be paid that. And then the fact of the matter is you think that somebody owe you something. Nobody owes you nothing. You just have to continue to go out there and work hard for it. Nobody's going to give you nothing. A team is not loyal to you. Matter of fact, before I even get into my next rap, let me hear you. Let me listen to you. Let me let y'all listen to what she had to say on the OGs.
The problem that I had was like, okay, the business part of it, we understand. So if you're going to trade me, just communicate with me, and then don't just send me anywhere. Like, allow me to route myself where I want to. I found out through an assistant coach texting me, I really appreciated coaching you. You were a real one. Like,
that's how you found out?
I said, huh? I said, huh? And I look at my girl, I'm like, did I just get traded? She was like, what? So I called our GM. I'm like, you got something to tell me? You know what this motherfucker, he gonna say to me? He gonna tell me, yeah, there was an opportunity to grab AT, which I'm like, I get it.
Yeah, that's not the problem.
That's not the problem.
Yeah.
And you were involved in the trade, and I'm like, yeah, you gonna tell me? Like, at what point were you gonna call? Because you didn't just find out this morning.
Not nothing.
I'm in this game 10 years. You didn't just find out this morning. I've been in talks about trades and all that. You knew at least 2 days prior to that. Nothing. Y'all was here a week before watching my games, talking to me. I was doing media content for the Phoenix Mercury. I was recruiting Satu Sabali and Alyssa Thomas at the same time for you. And he gonna say, we gotta trade talent to get talent. I said, you. I said, your karma gonna come back in every which way. I said,
you my dog.
And then I called Nate. Where you going,
dog.
Mike? Bring your butt back.
My dog.
I ain't finished. Bring yourself back, Mike. Okay?
You my dog.
Because then I had to call Nate, because I truly, and I still love Nate, like, very much. That was my guy. But I was like, man, you told me I was your point guard. Y'all the same looked me in my eye after I had 33 in that playoff game for y'all, where I almost got us to a game 3, and you said you gonna retire at Phoenix Mercury. Matt, Josh, Nick, Nate. That's what I'm upset about.
Yeah.
The trade is business.
Yes,
I understand that.
I get it.
But y'all owed me more for what I gave to that
That's what
organization.
I be talking about, though. You could call me in the office to watch film, but you can't call me in the office to tell me, hey, we're going to make a move.
I called Nate the night before. He ain't pick up. And I knew why once the next day it happened. You always call me back.
I can't wait to talk to Nate.
Yeah.
All right, so you listen to her, running off at the mouth as she always do, and this is one thing that I have been really paying attention to, how some of these women, they get on these platforms or some of these podcasts and they just stop talking. The one thing that she got to understand, the definition of business. There is no loyalty in business. There's no loyalty in the drug game. There's no loyalty in corporations. Matter of fact, there's no loyalty in no jobs. I have been on jobs where I have not been loyal to. I felt like I have given everything to this job, and I've seen somebody else get a better opportunity, or they said, well, hey, we no longer need you. And guess what? I felt that type of way, but guess what? I know my potential. I know what kind of person I am, because I could go out there and boom, get another job and just change my fortune just like that. If you're as good as you think you are, Natasha Cloud, that don't tell you either traded or you're not traded, it shouldn't even matter at the least, say the least. Because the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, guess what? You go into a new team, just prove yourself to your new team. You know what I'm saying? A lot of players do it all the time. Players don't get drafted to certain teams, and they say, whoa, I'm going to make you eat my words. Some of them do, and some of them don't. But the fact of the matter is you continue to go on these podcasts and talk about the same boring, pathetic thing. The trade has come and gone. It's over. Sophie Cunningham moved on, and she's excited. Because the first thing comes out her mind is like, I want to win a title. You mad because you went out here on this recruiting war and felt like you've been with you've been with Phoenix for 1 year. You felt like, okay, they supposed to be loyal to you. You ain't been with them 5 years. You ain't been with them 10 years. If anybody, it should be Don Taurasi or Bob Brittany Graham. You know what I'm saying? Should have been one of them. Should have felt that way. But you only been there 1 year. You was a rental. You was a rental. Like, we go rent a car, we rent an Airbnb, we stay in you for a little bit, and then we bounce out. We rent you for a while, ride you up and down the highway, then we put you back. You was a rental. You know what I'm saying? So the fact of the matter is that, yeah, it's a business. Yeah, they could have handled it a different way. But guess what? Move on. They don't owe you nothing. You was around here promoting, talk about the facilities, how I could retire you here. Instead of just been grateful of playing in an arena, say, I like the facility here or whatever the case may be. You thinking that you're the franchise player of the team. Then, and I can tell you one reason why they got rid of you. Because of your situation, how you started popping off at the mouth about Sophie Cunningham. Even though Sophie Cunningham got traded, but she got traded in a better situation. But your mouth got you out of there. You played yourself. Dang, I wish I had that button. How they used to play and say, congratulations, you played yourself. That's what you did, Natasha. You played yourself. Then you was talking about you out here recruiting Santo Sabli and Alyssa Thomas. Yeah, you was an upgrade for Alyssa Thomas you was an upgrade from Alyssa. However you put it. Alyssa Thomas was an upgrade from you. You know what I'm saying? They wanted somebody that's a well-rounded, more defined point guard. Yeah, you had some good games with them. What did they do? But they moved on. They didn't need you no more. What were you going to do? Come off the bench? You could go over there and be a leader for the Connecticut Sun. But that's just how she is. I would play the last clip with her at the Phoenix, but it's the same nonsense with the OGs. but she think everything Laura. And like I said, she just went on the pivot. Now they're airing that episode. They talk about, everything is racism, everything is this, everything is tied to this. Talk about the new fans. So what? We got new fans. Nobody wants to see basketball being brutalized. And nobody wants to see Caitlin Clark get beat up on the court. Nobody wants to see people getting clotheslined in midair. Nobody wants to see somebody getting blindsided for the backside. Nobody wants to see that at all. And just to hear how she described it and like it's okay, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, this is going to continue on. No. And then the bad thing about it is Kathy Ingeberg allowed this stuff to go on in the league. She allows this because when she sat up there and had that interview a while back, she definitely sat there and said, oh, well, we have to have rivalries. You can have rivalries, but you ain't got to have physical play. Caitlin Clark couldn't even get half of the whistle that she should have had because you condone some of this nonsense. When Kennedy Carter hit her from behind, Angel Reese was over there on the sideline cheering. Like, yeah, that's what she do. When Angel Reese faked and filed her across the side of her head. Same thing with Stephanie Golston from the Mystics. She did the same thing. Caitlin Clark drove and she chopped her right across her arm. You know what I'm saying? There's been enough, and then we could sit there and talk about the incidents for days with DJ Carrington with the poke in the eye. We could talk about the legal screen that Alyssa Thomas was set on her. So we could go on and on and on, and you sit here to say that it's acceptable. You gotta come to Indiana. Trust me. You gotta come to Indiana. And I would love to see Sophie Cunningham get up all in you. All in you. Especially the way you talked about her and dogged her name out. Oh, see, sometimes it's best not to be running off at the mouth and knowing that things always come back to you in the end. But like I said, man, Natasha Cloud is on some BS right now, and her and Ryan Clark is like two clowns in a pod, because he gets off on racism. He gets off promoting racism, and try to act like he's so intelligent that he's so knowledgeable about something. And she just up there, and they up there having a good old time, chuckling and laughing about it, and think it's cute. Natasha Cloud, try not to lose another tooth in this upcoming season. Don't want to hear it from you. So, at the end of the day, continue to like, comment, subscribe. Until the next episode, Livewire Sports, and I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.